This is working.
Hi guys, happy Sunday.
Sunday fun day.
Awesome. So super excited to see you guys. What episode is this, Andrea?
6.
Episode 6. I'm super excited to be with you guys again. Thank you for everybody who's tuning in tonight and who's going to tune in. We have some really good stories to tell you guys. Andrea is going to start it off with some information, some stuff that she wants to talk about tonight, and then we're going to talk about something really interesting, really creepy that Connecticut has. So let's go ahead and talk about it, Drea.
So for all you guys that have Netflix, which I'm sure is all of you, since we all have the Netflix and chill, as part of our lives, there is now Unsolved Mysteries, right? And every episode is Unsolved Mystery, whether it's something that happened with ghosts or people go missing, so on and so forth. We actually watched an episode where they talk about UFOs in the areas of Massachusetts and Connecticut. And while I feel like Brittany was kind of not super feeling it, I think it was really interesting because throughout the story it actually interviews different people living in different parts of town or in different parts of Connecticut or Massachusetts, and they're all kind of sharing the same story of, the bright lights, levitating, not knowing what the hell is happening, not remembering, basically blacking out for half an hour to 45 minutes, however long it took, and just really fucking scared, not knowing what the fuck happened to them during this time, and all that scary shit. Which kind of takes me back to the whole, what's scarier, ghosts or UFOs thing. Ghosts don't fucking do that shit. Sorry, never heard of it. UFOs, aliens, yeah, fucked up. So how did you feel about it, Beans?
It was really creepy. But as far as, what you're talking about with, ghosts don't do it, what are you specifically talking about?
Well, I guess, there's, poltergeists and, evil things, but if we're talking about, regular ghosts, they don't, make people float and stuff, do they?
I mean, sure. I've never heard anything.
Do they take them up in ships?
No, I mean, I've never.
Can they not remember?
I mean, the ghost probably does it. They just don't give you the hospitality that an alien's gonna give you. An alien's
they don't
gonna
open you up and look at your intestines while they do
No,
it.
I mean, the alien, you're saying they invite you on the ship and stuff. They give you a place to sleep.
They invite you,
They probably give you some food and stuff. Make sure you're feeling at home. As far as what's scarier, a ghost. I mean, a ghost just really wants to it wants its presence shown, which is the creepiest thing. As far as their motives, I guess, which is the question, because an alien is just what's this human monkey, and let's figure it out. And then a ghost is kind of just hey, pay attention to me. I'm going to make sure that you know me, and you're going to know my story, and then you're going to start a podcast about my story.
About me, specifically. Talk about me.
So I don't know. It's definitely really creepy, but I would say definitely the creepiest part was just the fact that, yes, everybody in that show was talking about how the same exact things happen. And it does seem like every time I do hear a story about aliens, it's the same thing, as far as they just see a really bright light coming out of the sky, and they end up being just levitated by this light, and then they're gone for maybe the night or even a few days, and then they return and they don't remember their entire experience at all, but they do remember seeing some little beings kind of surrounding them while they're
fucking freaky. It's so creepy.
I mean, yeah, it is creepy.
So many things could have happened.
I mean, I don't know. The cool thing though is that they always do get returned.
Yeah, I guess so.
With the ghost, I mean, will you return?
I mean, unless you die, right?
I mean, I don't know. My point is, yes, it's very creepy. But the creepiest part is just the fact that they do end up reporting it, and then they're oh, well, maybe you just dreamed something, or it's not serious or legit.
Well, so that was the other part to it. The part that, like, so this happened in, like, 1969, like, around that time. And now it's, like, the adults are being interviewed about what happened to them when they were, like, 10, 12, like, 14 years old max. So they're, like, reminiscing on this, like, dark moment in their lives. And I felt kind of bad, because parts of it are, like, oh, like, going out through high school and, like, whatever, like, through their adolescence, like, years, people just looked at them like fucking weirdos, because they're like, oh, they're just making this up, like, there's no way that this is real, like, you have to be crazy. But it's like, this, like, why, like, it's kind of how they said it, like, why would anybody be like, oh yeah, like, I have no idea what happened to me for, like, an hour of my life. Like, I just felt like levitating. I felt like having these, like, aliens just do whatever they did to me, and, like, I'll never know what happened. Like, why would anybody want to make that up? That's kind of, like, the part that gets me. Like, I just don't understand why anyone would be like, oh yeah, this awful thing happened to me, and some people may relate and some can't, and, like, even them themselves are like, oh, like, I wouldn't wish this on anybody, like, I wouldn't want anybody to experience this, it's really that messed up. So that part is kind of like,
Yeah, that was definitely really creepy when the lady, she was like, yeah, I would never want, even my worst enemies to experience something like this. And that's pretty an extreme, statement to say. Because even if you didn't like the person that much, you were still like,
it's to that level where
you're not even gonna even wish that on them.
Not your worst enemy.
I don't know, it's crazy. I mean, yeah, I've seen different movies. I think there's, like, The Fourth Kind and everything like that.
Fire in the Sky is another, like, really creepy one that comes to mind, yeah.
Yeah, and it seems to be, like, the same stories as far as, like, seeing the light in the sky and everything like that. But also, I do remember in The Fourth Kind movie,
that's the one in Nome, Alaska, right? The Fourth Kind?
I think so. I have no idea, to be honest.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
But it's just creepy. I just remember there was one scene, and I think, like, I just started watching it, and then this scene happened, and then I kind of just walked away. I did not finish the movie because... Yeah, because they're talking about, like, how in the middle of the night it happens and stuff. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, I'm just not ready for this. Like,
I'm ready to go to sleep. I don't want to think about it.
But I think the scene that creeped me out the most was when there was an officer who got called to a house or something, and he was waiting in his car, and there was a camera like shining onto the house and filming the house, and he was waiting there, I think, for like a call or something, or confirmation, or just waiting for these people to come out of the house or something. And he turned, what he did was, what did he do? I don't know, something happened where he tried to, like, record it more or something, and then he realized that his camera just completely shut down. So it just, like, completely stopped working, and that was exactly the same exact time that there was this floating object that just was floating above the house. And he just reported that, and he remembers it and everything, and it's just really creepy. I always hear about, like, electronics malfunctioning and everything because the machine in the sky takes too much energy. So it's just really creepy. As far as, like, what would I do in this kind of situation? I mean, what would anybody do?
I guess you really can't do anything. You just gotta see what's gonna happen.
I guess you have to just, like, choose to, like, just go with the flow. Yeah, so you just have to, like, go with the flow, I guess. So, I don't know.
It's creepy. It's really creepy.
So, what's your final opinion, Drea? Aliens or ghosts?
Aliens all the way. I think I'd rather deal with a ghost.
Okay. All right, well, have fun with that.
I will. Wait, so you're saying you'd rather deal with with an alien than a ghost?
I mean, I'm not wishing for either one. I think
But if you had to.
I mean, I think I'm pretty used to this ghost life at this point.
Right.
So I feel like I kind of know what to expect. as far as like that alien thing, that's just out there, literally out of this world. So I'll probably just be like,
chill.
Chill,
Chill,
son.
alien.
Chill. I mean, again, maybe he's cool. Maybe she's cool. Maybe they're just trying to be like, what's this human like? And you know what? I just don't know if I want to show them what this human is like.
Crazy.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know. Final opinion, I would say both of them are really creepy. Alright, so something else that I actually really wanted to talk about tonight was something really cool, and I actually really want to go one day. Maybe we can go next weekend, but this is like somewhat maybe 30-40 minutes away from where we are now, which is Cornwall, Connecticut, right? So Cornwall, Connecticut, and I think Southbury, Connecticut. But Cornwall, Connecticut and Southbury, Connecticut have these very creepy, interesting towns. And I really do want to visit really bad. And I know some people who visited these towns themselves. So I'll go ahead and share some of their stories as well, their experiences and everything like that. But it's definitely really creepy. And the first one that I'm going to actually talk about is Dudleytown. Andrea, have you ever heard of Dudleytown in Cornwall, Connecticut?
Yes.
Yeah, so Dudleytown is insane. But I actually have this book. I'll go ahead and read it really quick because I think it's going to tell a way better story than like I can. And I'll kind of explain the background of what I know of Dudleytown, and I'll also share those experiences as well. And I do want to go very soon with you so that we can actually see it for ourselves, and then we can share our own experiences.
Check it out.
I do want to go maybe next week, so we'll see. So this is the story. So in the book, it actually says what could possibly explain the horror of Dudleytown's history. Many accounts exist, but one theme persists. Generations of families tried to live in the northeastern Connecticut hamlet. Yet they all fell prey to death, disease, and madness. Today, nothing remains of Dudleytown but overgrown cellar holes and a few foundations. The road leading in, named Dark Entry Road, is a little more than a forest trail. Ghost hunters or curious hikers who ignore warnings of evil spirits, demons, and curses say the woods are strangely silent, missing the normal bird calls and buzzing of insects. Explanations for the demise of Dudleytown range from factual to non-factual. Some theorize that the land proved inhospitable for farming and inhospitable for farming and couldn't sustain the people who came to live here. There may be something to this. The area lies in the shadow of 3 mountains and is covered in the dense forest. The ground receives little sunlight, is covered in rocks, and contains high levels of iron. In addition, the water in the area contains large amounts of lead, which may account for some of the tales of inexplicable dementia, but which doesn't seem to explain the many stories of murder and mysterious tragedies. Other theories blame the expansion west and urban industrial growth for luring the settlers away from the remote community, leaving it barren. The flip side to such practical explanations is rooted in magic or mythology. Ghost hunters brave enough to venture into the shunned village will tell you they distinctly felt some sort of evil presence. A dark energy not elevated by the sunlight and certainly to be avoided after sunset. Could it be that the founders of Dudleytown came up against powerful Mohawk Indian shamanism after encroaching on native land? Or, as popular legend would have it, was the curse of the Dudley named strong enough to cross the Atlantic Ocean?